Welcome everybody to my final thoughts on Elex. Remember, I do not give full reviews. I assume you already know the basics about the game and have listened to other reviews. This is just another opinion with my highlights of my ups and downs in the game. The controls were clunky. I hated the third-person view. It just didn't feel right. There's no option for first-person view. It was ugly, and some of the times, like when you climbed up something, it just looked really ugly the way the animation worked. I hated how I kept on accidentally rolling. It's clearly made for a controller. If that doesn't bother you, then that's not a problem, but I like playing with the mouse and keyboard, and so many times, because I'm indecisive, I go to accidentally step in one direction, and I hit the key twice, and I end up rolling by mistake. It is really annoying to just be running around the map and then accidentally just roll because you're indecisive, and I hate it. One other problem is the combat. You can run around and your ally, your companion, does not recognize that you are under attack, and he just stands there until you... Look at this. It's ridiculous. Until you basically have to die for him to notice the enemy. I found that really annoying. What's the point in having a companion at that point? That kind of brings me to another thing. I died a lot. This game is very difficult. Granted, I'm playing at the hardest difficulty like I always do, but I found that part of the game enjoyable. It's, you know, one time, for example, I wasn't paying attention. I thought I could just run from one point to another while surfing the web, and I died on a mine. I tripped a mine. I ran into a minefield, and I blew up and died instantly. There are creatures. Everything in this game wants to kill you, and you have to be careful how you progress through the world. And I really like that. It was a fun challenge as opposed to a game that just holds your hand and babies you the way through. The story is really great. The map is really huge. There is a lot to this map. I am not sure the exact rough size, but this map is absolutely huge. The story is awesome. The quests are awesome. I found it very enjoyable. The story was immersive, the towns were immersive. I love how when you walk into the Berserker town, people tell you to get rid of your technology. All the different factions support different things in the game, and I found that really fun. You have several different training talents that you can use on personality. I ran out of money. I could not afford to level up with my learning points, but you really gotta maintain your resources, and it is a great open world story game. However, there were a couple of caveats. I hated how when one time I killed off a main character and a big red thing came up on the screen saying, hey, so-and-so dying, that changes the story of the game. It's like, well, why are you telling me that? It's like, let me figure it out for myself. And it also kind of told you when you interact with characters, it says, so-and-so likes this, so-and-so is cold towards you. It's like, well, let me figure that out for myself instead of telling me based on, you know, if you can't tell me whether a person likes a comment that I say based on the context of the situation, the sarcasm that they respond with, that's no fun to be told what they're feeling. And that just kind of broke the immersion. But overall, the story was awesome. I found myself, it did start out a little bit slow, but I found myself really getting immersed in the story. And I really, really loved the game. I loved the open world. I loved how it felt like I was actually manipulating people with the responses. There's a lot of cutscenes, a lot of really cool interactions with people in conversation where you get to, you know, select certain answers, and they do have an impact on the outcome of the game, and that part was fun. However, in the end, I couldn't get past 5 hours in the game because it crashed the desktop when I ran it through certain points on the map. This happened on my laptop, which is a 2016 Razer Blade with a GeForce 1060 in it, and also on my desktop with a 7th Gen i7 and a 1080 Ti, both with up-to-date drivers. And the frustrating thing is I only had 5 hours in the game when those points were happening, and I could tell that I liked this game. I could tell that I was going to give it a thumbs up because those bugs were frustrating. I wanted to continue playing. I wanted to see what happened in this story. If you like story-driven games, if you like open-world games with a great story and where your choices matter, this game is a lot of fun. It does have a little bit of a, you know, crafting element to it and leveling up, but I think the main thing in this game is the story. But it does, like I said, it has that great crafting element. But the bottom line is, I could tell that I liked this game, and I wanted to play it, and I would have given it a thumbs up because I was so frustrated about those bugs. I wanted to discover the rest of the story. But it's certain specific spots on the map. It's just like the game gets an overload and instantly crashes the desktop. I don't know what it is. I tried adjusting the graphic settings, but none of them seemed to matter. It just crashed each time. And so as the game develops and they fix those patches, I'm sure eventually I'll get around to finishing this game and playing more of it. This one really hurt because I really wanted to play it. I really wanted to keep playing it. I know that I would like it, but I just don't see how I can recommend a game or give it a thumb up when it crashes the desktop across two modern day computers that are both up to date on their drivers. And, you know, one's a gaming laptop and one's a high powered desktop. I really want to finish the story. I know they'll fix the bugs, but at the current state, I don't know how I can recommend this game, and it's really kind of a sad thing. If you do like open world games with exploration and story heavy games, and you don't mind the third person and the little bit of the wonky controls, sounds like a lot of caveats, but it really is, the positives really do outweigh the negatives, except for the crash to desktop. I mean, if I can't play it, how can I play it or recommend it? And that's my final conclusion. That's my final thoughts on the game. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I do hope that you subscribe if you enjoyed. Give me a thumb up if you enjoyed, and be fair and give me a thumb down if you did not. So thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.